It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's Walkabout Wednesday in my early July Southern California succulent garden. And summer is upon us, isn't it, guys? Are you all seeing aphids, mealybug, a lot of ants, plants that are bolting, plants that are showing scarring and sunburn? Look at this little echeveria here, all of its dead understory leaves. This thing is going to start showing a lot of trunk and bolting. You know, I think honeymoon is over. Winter and spring here in Southern California, at least in my little microclimate, are so awesome for succulents. But now things are looking a little stressed. Even this amazing set of gutters, which Greg says wouldn't be hard at all to dismount and take with us when we move to Vista. So that's exciting. But yeah, this was so full and so lush just a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm seeing lots of dirt and detritus and spider webs and spent blooms, and I don't see any bugs per se, but you know, I am seeing some scarring and sunburning. So my solution to this is, you know, do your due diligence and keep your plants really clean. You know, hit them with some neem oil in the later part of the day. Early evening is best. You don't want to hit them with any kind of treatment in the morning before the heat sets in, because sensitive plants could burn if that's the case. So, you know, later in the evening is better for that. And then as an added precaution in the morning, in the early morning, you might want to take a hose and spray everything off. That's what I do. And then I just take cuttings from around the garden and tuck them into the gaps and hope for the best. So it's really smoke and mirror time in your gardens. We last time we were in the garden, a couple times ago, I planted the mystery aloe, and I did end up setting it back where I had the Brugmansia cactus. I really love this plant. I don't understand why my client didn't like it, right? And you guys were so nice to give me a solid ID on this plant, and naturally I've forgotten it because both of the cross that you told me, I hadn't heard of either one. So it hasn't stuck in the old cabeza yet, but you know, I haven't really done much with this other than just pot it up, but I am completely digging it. That is so cool. A little garden gift this morning is my little Echinopsis. My rainbow burst is bursting. Look at that. Look at those flowers. Isn't that just the prettiest thing? If that just doesn't give you hope, I don't know what does. And my Phobesii, my spiral cactus, I mentioned this with you last time. It's just greened up beautifully since I put a little fertilizer on it, and you can, as I pointed out last time, I see even more new growth. These little knobby doodles here on the top are brand new, so this is actively growing, and I've been giving this pot, you know, just a fraction of a turn every couple of days or so, because I really am hopeful that I can train that cactus to grow, you know, as upright as possible. And even this little Riboudia, I posted this on my Instagram, Laura Loves Succulents, those adorable little orange flowers. And these have been, you know, reopening for a week. I'm really, really happy with the longevity of these flowers. And of course, my stunning little Gymnocalacium. Look at that. Color is off the chain, isn't it? And it's just not even possible. Couldn't be happier with that. And my variegated Euphorbia millii that I got at Planter's Paradise a few years ago just does not quit, does not disappoint. It hasn't given me a moment's grief. I don't even really think about it much in terms of care or water. You know, I slop a little on it from time to time, but this is the first time I've actually picked at it, and I don't even know when. And it just blooms almost nonstop. You can see here we have a little reversion to green, but I don't hate that because I think that just adds to the interest of the plant. You know, I don't know. Well, no, I'm going to leave it in the pot because it's really happy. I was going to say I might stick it in the ground and see how big it'll get, but you know, with us being in a temporary situation in Vista, I don't want to do that. So we'll leave it in the pot. And this, oh my goodness, my Bougainvillea, my potted Bougainvillea, yikes. I did fertilize it pretty liberally a couple of months ago, and it has really, really taken off. Everything underneath it too. I'm going to pull all of this out before we move this pot clearly. And then I will also take the Bougainvillea out because I got lazy. I tried staking it a few years ago, and it, you know, I just didn't do a good job of it. And it's leaning way too much. At some point, this will tip over. So I need to get this whole plant out and set it cockeyed in the pot so I can get it a little more upright. And I'll take care of that at a later date, probably when we move. And, you know, the old love-hate with the Brugmansia, the temps aren't that hot, really. They're in the low 70s right now here in East Chula Vista. But look at the flowers on the Brugmansia, what they do. Isn't that so gross? But gosh darn it, in the morning, they are stunning. So I guess, you know, that is just the trade-off there. Remember how I used to talk about the Aloe Hercules, and I was a little concerned about it because I planted that there when it was in a 10-inch pot. And clearly it has got its legs, it has split heads, and I just didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I would have to dismantle the entire side of the waterfall to do anything with that, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. You know, it's almost too big for the yard, so that's just going to have to be the new person's problem. That will not be coming with me. My Sunglow and my Gayei, Greg said that he's okay. You know, I said we can leave the Gayei because, you know, that's going to be a hassle, but my sweet husband said no problem, we'll take it. So that'll come with. Also, Greg suggested, and it's a great idea, just to cut one of these branches off of the Aeonium Procera. You know, yeah, I can leave it intact, but just take the smallest branch and start that in Vista, and that makes me really, really happy. If we are only there a year, you know, I don't want to plant a bunch of small stuff because I won't have the opportunity to enjoy its growth. So I want to plant things that are, you know, nice and established. Oh goodness. So I did go ahead and water the Bougainvillea today really well, and I got out here and I cleaned up some detritus. You can see how the stuff over on the other side of the prison wall, that Brazilian pepper and the cottonwoods are really starting to poke up again. I'm trying not to let that bug me because I used to go back with with loppers and keep that all cut down. But, you know, again, since we're moving, don't see the point. See this awful pine tree? When we moved into this house 14 years ago, it was there, but it was small and you couldn't even see it over the wall. And now, look how awful it is. And this has been concerning me too, how this thing is leaning forward. It's more of an issue. Well, it used to be more of an issue for the neighbor over here, but now that it's branching out, it's becoming an issue here too. And the association really needs to deal with that before a good stiff wind causes it to fall and damage somebody's house or person. But again, not my problem. What can I say? Oh, I was thinking today too about the Topsy Turvy. I think that's definitely something that I will take with me because it's just pots on rebar, And I don't know, you know, with whoever's going to be moving into this house, if they are going to have any interest in gardening or any interest in the succulents, and it's just too stinking cute to risk it. So, you know, that'll come with us too. And yeah, so this, look over here at these Aeoniums, Urbicums. You know, this is a pretty sunny spot in the garden, and look at how dormant they are, how the Aeoniums are closing up tight. And this isn't too hideous because I have a lot of things around it, and that's kind of the secret. You know, when you're planting your Aeonium Urbicums in the winter or the springtime, think about underplanting them. Like with this is cotyledon mint truffle. This is such a good companion because it stays a lot more compact. Look at how, you know, it's just embracing this stand of Aeonium Urbicum. And I've got a little bit of kiwi here, and then I've got some Fred Ives here. So are you seeing what's happening? You know, by mixing up the plants with different plants, different textures, different dormant periods, different growth habits, you can create an arrangement that can look good year-round. Some of you were concerned about the crested Aeonium and excavating it from this raised bed. The suggestions were just move it with, you know, move the bed, leave the Aeonium alone, and just move the whole bed. And what you don't understand necessarily is, look down here. The construction of this bed is such that it's way deeper than you think. See how these tiered pieces of wood, it's almost like a boat, isn't it? And so there is probably a half a yard of soil in this raised bed, and it is prohibitively heavy. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that might be a little ambitious. Over here, oh my gosh, yeah, this time of day, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and the sun is starting to slide over to the other side of the house. This is predominantly all in shade now, and I can't even begin to tell you the difference in temperature from where we were just standing to over here. Has got to be at least 10 degrees. So remember, in the summer, shade, 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 if you can pull it off. These cuttings that I popped in here, look at all those spider webs. Jeez, 'tis the season. I don't see any active spiders, but boy, do I ever see the webs. So I tucked in all those Aeonium kiwi the other day, and I'm real happy with them. You know, they're still hanging in there and looking good. And that's the secret. At this time of year, it's probably not the best idea to do any major overhauls in the garden, but just try to smoke and mirror. Try to provide shade. Be very, very careful not to treat anything in the heat of the day, but in the later evening or in the early morning. Same with your watering. Best not to water in the middle of the day. The sun can reflect off of water droplets on the leaves and cause scarring, particularly on plants like Aeonium sunburst. See this here? That little scar? That's just sunburn. It's nothing to be too concerned about. Pretty typical, and yeah, it's just cosmetic. So don't worry if you're starting to see some scarring on your leaves that looks like that. But honestly, you know, just a little TLC. You'll feel a lot better getting out and cleaning up your detritus. Talk nice to your plants right now. They don't need any additional stress from being yelled at. They're getting plenty just from temperatures and sun. And, you know, try to lower your expectations and your standards a little bit at this time of the year, moving into the hotter months. Follow me, subscribe for more tips. This has been Laura Eubanks on Walkabout Wednesday with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.